Okay, welcome to ETN News. We're looking at Hawaii earthquakes first, and you can see how this pattern is coming right up to Mauna Loa, starting to get activity on the other side of the island again, like we was a couple of weeks ago, and down here on this slump. Well, this one is on Kilauea East Rift Zone, these earthquakes. You got the slump coming out into the ocean. We know the shelf has to give also. When the slump gives, it's all one big chunk. So we should see activity from there. Now, Alaska, 4.5, south-southeast of Attu Station, Alaska, 6.2 miles deep. This here was starting to back up again up here. And we just had a release. And I don't think we're finished with the release that we just had down through here. Alright, we got this one around Los Angeles at 4.4. Let's go look just a little closer. It is south of Pasadena. Here is Los Angeles. We got 8 smaller quakes, and we got a 4.4 first, without any warning whatsoever. Now this is southeast of HighLand Park, California, 6.8 miles deep. We was talking about the earthquake activity coming off the Cascadia yesterday, watched down through California for large activity. We got a 4.4 so far. Now, either it's going to scatter some out toward the east, or it's going to go on down. But we still may see a 6.0 or greater still yet, even if we do get another earthquake after this 4.4. Because that was just too much pressure just to be thrown out. Alright, on the Hayward fault zone, we're starting to get activity. And got a 1.9 around Castro Valley, 2.4. And let me see what else we got over here. Ridgecrest starting to pick up a little bit. Utah got a small swarm, but it was because of not a swarm, but some aftershocks. I think it was a 2.42 that went on there. Just hard to get right on it. 2.3. 2.3 northwest of Cedar City, Utah, 2.6 miles deep. Anyway, we're starting to get activity in that area. We got to watch those spots. Right down to San Jacinto, we're still getting activity. And up here around Lamont, still getting earthquake activity there, aftershocks. This could turn out to be a foreshock or a main shock. Put it that way. If we ever get a main shock here, it would be bigger than any earthquakes that's hit on, around this time, starting out with the 5.7, or really like a 6.0 or 6.2. They downgrade so much. Okay, 1.3 northwest of Bickleton, Washington, 9.6 miles deep. I don't think I've seen any activity there. If it has been, it's been a long time. And there was another one, explosion. 2.2 explosion, 11 miles west-southwest of Blue Diamond, Nevada, 1.1 miles deep. They're getting awful close to Las Vegas doing that, if they're doing it themselves. Now you can see this fault line still coming down through here in the line. You would never be able to have earthquakes come down through here at the same time and match up with this line. There's a fault line going right down through here and right down into Las Vegas and Mead Lake. One day we'll see some big activity here, large activity. Alright, now let's go look at something else. And up here some explosions too, which we're still looking for a large earthquake. Alright, 0.8 explosion northeast of La Center, Washington, 2.7 miles deep, and a 1.7 explosion 1 mile northwest of HighLand, Washington, minus 0.1 miles deep, and a 1.9 quarry blast east of Butte, Montana. Better stay away from them buttes doing that, if that's around a volcano. Okay, over this way we're not showing anything yet, but from this 4.4, where it's so far toward on the coast, you know, it may go on down, but we still could see activity come over through here. Not for sure. You can't tell when it's on the fault line. It comes down the main fault line. You got all kinds of junctions. I think there's like 7 in Los Angeles. Junctions in together. Los Angeles is a bad place. Alright, there's their earthquakes, and like I said, we still got quite a few over here. Let's go over here and look. Around Lamont, see, it's still got quite a bit of activity. And we got a 2.6 right there, northwest of Grapevine, California, 8.3 miles deep. So we are getting larger quakes. These quakes can end up as a foreshock or a main shock. A main shock is when the earthquakes is going, it'll have the largest quake and then it'll stop. You won't see no more aftershocks, and that's what they call the main shock. Foreshock is when you got like a 2.6 like right here, and or we had the 5.7. You'd have to go with that one. 5.7, if it popped up as a 6.5, that would be a foreshock. Then later on, when the earthquakes get ready to stop, if it's, you know, quit having activity in that area, sometimes we'll have a main shock, and it would be bigger than the 6.5. And that would be the last one. So, you know, you got to watch for that. And I've been watching for foreshocks to hit that area. And up in here, around in between Idaho and Montana, over from Yellowstone, if you remember the ones that did watch the magma flow and that saying it was important, we would see more heat over here north of, on the east side of Idaho, north into Montana. We would see more heat in this section and over in Washington and toward Vancouver Island than anywhere on the map. More than Yellowstone, more than anywhere. But this right here was the most. Now they're getting ready to, they're calling it a, you know, flying low in the choppers. And they're going to check the faults and the minerals under the ground, the faults, the magma flow, stuff like that, where they can see so many miles down into the earth. They're going to have a helicopter come through here, and it's going to be swarming with choppers low to the ground, flying real low, just so many feet up off the ground. And they're going to search this area. I got a notification on it this morning from USGS. So this area is going to be, later on, they're getting ready to do that and search the ground. Well, it all adds up to where when we saw so much, and we can look at it right now, and it's hotter through this area than it is over in Yellowstone. Way hotter. And always has been since I've been looking at the Go 16 Live satellite. So why would they do it in a place that's way hotter? It's adding up to something may occur in this area pretty soon in the future. So we got to watch that spot too. Now Canada, you see how they're coming down the fault, the main fault. And that's a 1.6, a 3.5. Queen Charlotte Islands region, a 1.2. Northwest, on the northwest side of Vancouver, and at 2.2 southwest of Port Hardy. It's right down the main fault coming toward the Cascadia. We still got to watch for earthquake activity down through California, and we still got to watch for that 6.0 to a 7 plus, just in case if it hasn't released any pressure, because if it started out and it could have been a 7 and it goes on down and drops off at 4.4. It'll lose a little bit of magnitude, but it would still be a 6.0 or greater. So either we're going to get more activity toward the east or more activity down this way. And once it leaves down through here, it's most likely to get a 6.0 or greater around the ring of fire somewhere. Now right here, East Pacific rise. This is signs that's showing you that the continents are moving. This is the Pacific Plate. Got a 5.4 South Pacific Ocean, 5.9 miles deep. It's not even on the main fault line. So we got a major fault coming through here too, you know, going over. And this one here, it's got a fault line that comes into it. The Murray, I think it is, comes over to it. I think they call it Murray or Marie. I don't know how they pronounce it. And south of Turkey and Syria. Syria got a 5.0, 6.2 miles deep. These up here, Japan, we're starting to get 4.4, 21.8 miles deep, and a 4.5, 42.3 miles deep, and a 4.5, 55.1 miles deep. 5.0 down here, Indonesia. But Japan, they're watching this spot for the next 30 days. It could hit here, and it may not. We don't know for sure, because when we get pressure releases in other places, but you know, the way this is looking, it could come on around. It is real possible for it to hit right here. But like I was saying on the last two updates, after we had the 7, I think it was 7.2 over here, maybe a little higher, but then we started, you know, we was talking about watching our side now, because it looked like the pressure was going to hit our side. Well, we got to 4.4, but like I said, that's not enough release. Still watch for 6.0 at least or greater the next few days around the ring of fire and on the main faults, and California could get hit again. It may not be out of there yet, but that shows it's coming through there after we seen the pressure releasing off the Cascadia the other night. Like the storms, look how it's starting to get a little curve back this way. By the time it's setting right here right now, tropical storm, Ernesto, that's the name of it, Ernesto. Okay, it comes on up Wednesday, 8 p.m. It's supposed to turn into a Category 1, 80 mile per hour. Then we come on up Category 2, 110 mile per hour by Friday. And still the same on Saturday, 8 p.m. Okay, you see how that it's trying to curve around? It's got that little curve in it, and you don't know about the winds. I mean, the wind could change anytime, the wind direction, and push this thing. By the time it gets right here, open waters, it may curve back. So we always got to be prepared just in case. Look at over here around Japan. They just got that big earthquake. And now all this, I mean, this is a mess. They're just coming in together everywhere right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coming in. Crossing each other. This one's coming up and bringing in a very strong typhoon at 115 miles per hour. Going right on the edge of the land, right where next to where we got our earthquake. And then the other one is just went off the coast of Japan. Left a lot of rain, and I'd say a lot of flooding. But you got this one coming up. So it's just a mess over that way right now. It's just not normal for so many to be in one spot at one time. Alright, we got to keep an eye on this too. Watch for it to curve back. It's possible. Anything's possible. Okay, this is the fire map, and anomalies, what we're always watching. Here's the anomaly, and it comes up and over here and right through here. It's just clouds block them out where we can't see them. Now, anomalies. NASA says it's anomalies. Well, NASA's got the equipment to see what the anomalies are. What is the anomaly? What's causing the anomalies? NASA knows, but all they put on their information is this is anomalies. But they know what it is. All right, now that's the 10th. And here's the 11th. You can see it move over. The 12th moved on over, and now the 13th. And it hasn't got here yet. So we dropped back 24 hours ago. All right, we can see this. And you can see it move off the coast. This brings heat. Heat brings storms. Heat dries out the soil. Lesser water in the wells. Droughts. There's all kinds of things that this could cause. It could even dry out some fault lines that, where they stay damp, and it dries them out and cause some large earthquakes with this stuff coming across. And let's see where this one's at. Oh, up near San Francisco, up that way. Had to make sure that wasn't on a volcano. Got to watch these. Like this one here, that's a big old fire. But it's up under the volcano. It's not on it. So we watch for a red spot to pop up in the middle of one of these. We check it a couple times a day, daily. Alright, I'll see you on the next updates. Everybody stay safe, and we'll be watching.